Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign with Belegar Ironhammer, and this is going to be after the Vampire Coast update, once Steel Faith finally finished their update a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to do this earlier, but the end of the semester was really crazy, and then I've been sick the last few days, so I apologize if I sound a little sick. I might sneeze or cough every now and then, but I really do want to get this done. I appreciate all my Warhammer fans being patient with me here.
I fight for the greater
Okay,
good.
so why Belegar? Why are we going to revisit this? Well, the Steel Faith mod, right before the drop of Vampire Coast, within like a couple of weeks before that, they released their own update with a lot of cool new stuff for the Greenskins and the Dwarves. I fairly recently did a couple of Greenskin campaign. I did the Skarsnik and then I did the Savage Orc campaign. So I figured it'd been a while since I've done Dwarves. A lot of people love Dwarves, so I decided I'd go with that. We will go with the Vampire Coast again at some point soon, but because I just did a Vampire Coast campaign once they came out, then we'll probably wait on that just a little bit. But I feel like they did rebalance it quite a bit, at least from what I understand. The Vampire Coast, honestly, especially with Silostra, was probably the easiest campaign that I've ever done in Total War Warhammer. They were just extremely overpowered, so I think Steel Faith maybe brought them in line a little bit, but we'll check him out again sometime soon. Okay, so why Belegar then instead of some of these other dwarves? Well, he has the most interesting campaign, I think. First of all, it's the hardest one. He's starting in a really tough position, surrounded by a good number of hostiles, and you get an extra upkeep increase on all of your units until you take back Carrick 8 Peaks. I really like the 8 Peaks factions because it gives you like something really concrete that you're working towards, like this like achievable goal. You know, instead of just, you know, take over the map and win type of stuff. So I like these kind of short to mid-term goals that you can do. It just makes the game feel like it has more momentum to it, more like stakes on a turn-by-turn basis. So let's go ahead and get in here, and then I'll talk about some of the changes that are coming down the line too. So a few changes they made. They gave the dwarves a mechanic kind of like the Tomb Kings, where you can buy items with a special sort of currency called Oath Gold that you get through battles and quests and things like that. So it gives them just another feature that makes them kind of stand out, makes them unique. Because you can get a lot of different kinds of heroes, and being able to stack those up with extra items is handy. Just another kind of currency you can work towards, another little mini game that adds a little bit of extra punch to them, which is fun. And then, so that's the Oath Gold here, and we'll talk about that more as we get into it, but it's almost just like the Tomb Kings. I think there might be another faction or two that can do this as well. But that's interesting. And you have to acquire certain things, certain kinds of resources, so it really encourages trade, which is something that the dwarves excel in as well. So I think that's really cool. And then another new mechanic is they changed around the Book of Grudges to where there's more meaningful rewards. So like right now we need to go kill Queek, and if we get that, then we get upkeep reduction for all units, double experience gain, blah blah blah. We need Slayer and the Warlord. So we need to go kill Skarsnik for this one. We get some other buffs for that. And then we really want to kill some High Elves as well to solve this one. So that gives us, you know, 100 experience per turn. A lot of these give you a lot of experience per turn. Just double experience there. So you get some veteran troops pretty well in there. So that's interesting. We'll get some more in there too. And then if we look at this, it's not always good to be as low as possible. You don't want to have a lot of grudge stuff going on because that's really bad. But you also don't want to have too few grudges. It does give you a lot of diplomacy, which would be good for confederations eventually. But it lowers your campaign movement range, increases your upkeep. It does increase your growth in your public order a lot. It does increase the duration. I mean, there's trade-offs. There's lots of min-maxing in Steel Faith. Usually there's, you know, something good and something bad happening most of the time. This seems to be one of the best ones. Difficulty complaining. You lose a little bit of campaign movement range, but you still get the growth, the public order, and some income without all the negative stuff. This one's decent too. A little bit of growth, a little bit of leadership, but you start to lose some income there. Lose quite a bit of income there, but you get extra movement range, upkeep reduction. This one you get a ton of movement range, a little bit of extra melee defense on everybody, but you start losing public order. And then this one, and you get a penalty with dwarves. And this one, you get a big penalty with dwarves, big upkeep reduction, leadership. I mean, you really, really don't want that one. So being high up the grudge chain is far worse than being low, but even being, you know, on the super low side can definitely have its cons in certain circumstances. I am also using JR's Old World Skill Overhaul. So we're not doing the Festivus beta because Steel Faith is not upgraded for that right now, or updated for that, so... And that's what they're doing in that Festivus. A big part of it is reworking a lot of the Old World skill trees because they're just not really good for modern times. Like, their design was pretty poor, especially for the dwarfs, compared to some of the stuff we have today. So if we look at Belegar's skill tree, it just collapses a lot of the stuff that used to be over 2 skill trees into 1 with more choices. And then you get these veterancy updates, right? So if you get to rank 7, you get, you know, some decent bonuses on different classes of units. So that's the big one. It just means that you have more sort of choice in the kinds of ways that you want to upgrade and sort of go about things that you want to specialize in without feeling like you're wasting points to have to get over to here. And then down here is really nice in the blue one. This tree is just a mess in the old school dwarves, but now, like, this is still a pretty bad row right here, this part. But then when you get over here, you get your standard stuff that shows up in a lot of the Total War Warhammer 2 units. You get Quartermaster, which they don't usually have, which is amazing. Minus 15% upkeep for all units. You get Inspirational Leader for 15% casualty replenishment, which is also fantastic for dwarves. They don't have that either, I'm pretty sure. And then Renowned and Feared, of course, is one of the best 1-point wonders in the game. And it should be if you go all the way through the blue tree, because there's no combat upgrades here. It's just cost management type of stuff. So it's really just for legendary a lot of times when your costs get so high. So I think that you should be rewarded with something really nice at the end. So it's nice that that's there. And then, like, some of the other just random stuff they used to have in these skill trees, they went ahead and bumped up here. The most notable one is Obstinacy, which will definitely get early. Gives you Vigor Loss Reduction large on your whole army, which is amazing. It means your units are going to get tired a lot less quickly, or a lot more slowly, I suppose. And that means that they're going to be more accurate with their missile things. They're going to have more armor. They're going to have more melee defense. They're going to move faster. Vigor's a very, very big deal, and it's something that really doesn't get discussed very much in Warhammer, but huge, huge deal. And because the dwarves are slow and they have such heavy armor, then they tear through their vigor really, really quickly. And so having that vigor loss reduction is nice. Okay. We'll go through some of the rest of the stuff here in just a little bit. So pretty much with this one, our goal, we get these 4 ghost guys, which you have to have them because they're free and you just can't afford units. Basically, we're already almost at our limit with only 7 units. And each additional unit is going to cost quite a bit. Now I'm going to buy 3 more right here. I think I decided these are way better. I've done the math on them before. You lose your silver shield, but unless you're facing like heavy missile units, you're trading out 4 melee defense for 5 melee attack, but the big one is that you're getting armor-piercing damage, which is tremendous. Like, way, way more armor-piercing damage. You're keeping similar armor. So, I think those are probably the best bargain to get. And as far as buildings go, they did some upgrades to the buildings, which are pretty cool, too. They added in some of these shrines, and they added in some of these, like, different choices for min-maxing. It's like, do you go for more public order at the expense of, you know, losing some of your income, or do you go for this one, which gives you beer kegs, tradable stuff, allows you to buy rangers, and still gives you some public order. So it's pretty nice choices. And then whenever you get to these tier 4 chains, then you can unlock special technologies they added in as well over here. So this is new stuff. So you can, once you get to that tier 4, you can unlock for miners, quarrelers, rangers. Depends on which building you upgrade, and you can see that on the buildings. And then you can pay 10,000 gold, which is really expensive, but it's like a permanent upgrade to those units. I believe. It says Rune of 8 Peaks. I'm not sure if you just get one rune, period, that you can put on a unit. You couldn't put that on normal units, though. I'm not really sure how that works. Or if you have to put that on a lord or something like that to get the effect. I'm not entirely sure. You might have to equip that on a lord. And then all of your units get that. Or I don't know if just every single, you know, unit in your faction gets it. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But cool new options. They did nerf a lot of this stuff in the early excuse me. In the in the early fighting tree down here, they nerfed a lot of these options. So like Levy Warriors, I'm pretty sure that may have always been 5%. I feel like it used to be 10. Almost certain that used to be 10% more damage there. That used to be +2. Pretty sure it used to be +20. And Volley Fire, I'm almost certain used to be 15. That was 10. So they nerfed some of this stuff, and then like Militia Training used to be +5/+5. Now it's +2/+2. So this stuff is a lot worse than it used to be. This used to be 2 ranks. That used to be +5. So they just minor nerfed a lot of this stuff. They nerfed some of this up here too. So you don't get as much settlement gold. I think it used to be 5 and then 10. So you could get up to 15. Now you can only get 10. I don't remember if heavy cornerstones was always here. I think it was. But they've changed around some of this stuff up here. So basically, I think that getting to public order and then getting to growth is super important as dwarves. So we're probably going to go for this early. And then also getting diplomacy with factions is really, really handy because you're going to have to trade a lot to get money here. We might just go for diplomacy early. We'll see how fast we can get. I think we'll get control of this province, though, by 12. Because your growth is abysmal. Growth is one of the most important stats for dwarves. Because as you can see, right now I have 12 growth. Most of their cool stuff starts coming online at Tier 4. They have some pretty decent stuff at Tier 3. The Bugman's Rangers in particular are really good. But a lot of their really cool stuff, you know, like the Hammers, particularly the Gyrocopters in the base game, you could get Gyros at Tier 3, but they pushed them up to Tier 4 now, which is probably fair. They are very strong, kind of unique units in the game. They're basically your cavalry. It just takes forever to get to Tier 4. As you can see, the base things only give 10 growth, 7 growth, 5 growth. It's like, it's ridiculous. So you have to get those upgrades to get the extra growth going in there. Anything that gives growth, you got to get it. Okay, so let's go ahead and upgrade these guys. We just want them to survive as long as possible in combat. High Elves, Skaven, Dark Elves. I mean, that's cool and everything, but we definitely want Foe Seeker. Okay, so that unit's wounded instead of killed. I could have sworn I've had one killed before. We're going to grab that. We're going to grab Hard to Hit for the melee defense. And then, actually, let me refund that real quick. This, because I do want to get over to Deadly Onslaught. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Mir Sin. Now, the only reason I chose this one over that one is I want to try to get to Deadly Onslaught faster. I think that's the way to go, right? Yeah, +4, +5. Yeah, so you want to max it out. Max out that credit card. Training's pretty terrible. So we just want to use these guys to just stay healthy and just face tank. And just beat some people up in combat. Particularly lords. Does this guy have... I can't see their lord. I feel like he has magical attacks. Because... I remember getting walloped by him in the past. Okay, so he has immortality. So they get wounded. And it feels like these guys are really overpowered. But, you know, like I said, you you kind of have to have them. We want to get to Rune of Negation ASAP. Defense. What's the cooldown reduction of that? 7%. 3 oath gold per turn is pretty legit. That's pretty good too. Is he gonna be in combat that much? I mean, some. Scouting's pretty good too. Maybe I go for that oath gold. Yeah, let's go for the oath gold there. Go ahead and get that ticking.
What orders?
This dude. Alright, same drill. Thane. So yeah, you have to be very careful with them though, because like they can die in combat. They can't be assassinated, but you're just not going to have a lot of other units. And they're very frail. They don't have a lot of HP. They do have the ethereal physical resist, but against magic stuff, they can get blown up. And most ballistics calibration. I think we definitely want triangulation, missile units, requisition, increased mobility is huge too. I do want to be able to move around a bit faster. Now this is mostly just for artillery, which we're not going to have a ton of that early. Okay, so upgrading to that doesn't matter as much. I believe that's just for artillery. It says war machines will benefit. Although it says all allies in range will get the reload skill, accuracy, all that stuff. I don't know if that applies to archers or not. So I think we're just going to get these two, and then I know this definitely applies to infantry because it says it does. So we'll go with that first. And then we'll go up and start getting ballistics calibration and all that other stuff. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop all of them over here. We're going to have a pretty tough fight at the start here. Usually on Steel Faith, like the first major fight is really hard because you have to fight the garrison also, and the garrisons are very strong in Steel Faith. So we're going to have to pop over here and go for a Crooked Nose ASAP. Because like... Excuse me, the issue is they have almost infinite gold early, so if I just sit here and try to recruit enough units to be able to fight them plus their garrison, they're just going to sit there and recruit also. But I have money problems, and they don't. So basically, I can sit here and make a 20 stack as long as I want. But they're going to sit there and also make a 20 stack, and they're going to get more buildings, which is going to give them more garrison. So... It really gets worse the longer you wait, and it's just never going to get better. So you pretty much have to fight a really hard fight early on Legendary in most campaigns. Because you have to get them before they get more buildings, before they get more units, because they're just going to be able to outrace you.
I stand defiant.
So we're just going to make 3 of these dudes. Excuse me. Just burrow under. Try to pick a fight with them ASAP and hope we can win it. It's probably going to be like, you know, 11 on 16 or something. Okay, so I want Copper Mountain for sure. Is that super strong? I'm going to mute this real quick. New Copper Mountain, and then I'm probably going to sell this building because I don't need a lot of this stuff if I'm going to get the beer. Because if I get the beer over here, which I definitely want to get the beer so that I can get to the Bugman Rangers, because we get so many different buffs off of Belegar with the Rangers. These are going to be our primary, like, cornerstone units for the whole campaign. So we have to get them, which means we're going to get this. And we can hire Dwarf Warriors, both versions of Dwarf Warriors, actually, from that. Which is really nice. I think in the baseline game, you had to have, like, a forge. Or you had to have, like, this forge in order to get the... armor-piercing ones, but in this game they let you have them earlier, so that's kind of nice. But, yeah, so we have no use for this. The only reason I would get this is if I wanted something like Blast Charge Miners. We don't want Quarrelers. Rangers are just better almost all the time. But the Longbeards are a huge deal. But they're also expensive, and I think we just want to pour our money into Bugman's Rangers and just get a bunch of Dwarf Warriors just to hold the line early and use our Ghosts and those to hold the line. Now, there are a couple of cool new units that they did add with this mod. They added Giant Slayers, which are pretty sweet. We might run with 1 or 2 of those later. Very good against large monstrous beasts. So if we start fighting, you know, mammoths, giants, cygors, that type of thing, those can be really strong. They added Dwarf Engineer, Mortar Infantry. I haven't tried these out, but I imagine they're kind of like the Skaven weapons teams type of thing. So they're probably pretty strong. We'll try them out. They added in... I think they made the Gyro Bomber actually a good unit. It's got 5,000 health now. I think it used to have 2,500, so they've rebalanced it. It should be a tier 5 really strong unit. It has more armor, so I'm looking forward to trying that out again. The problem with dwarfs in the base game is, like, they have so many cool, like, neat things, but most of them just suck compared to other stuff. Like, their stats are just way off. They're really underpowered, especially in multiplayer. Although this is not multiplayer, but... they added in these rakes, or these grudge rakers too. Which, do we have one of those in our army? I can't remember.
True king of 8 peaks.
We do not have a grudge raker in our army. I feel like I tried them out before. Maybe I didn't.
Grudge bearer.
But anyways, so these supposedly can fire while in combat. So I've always wondered why there haven't been units that can also fire while in combat, especially like flamethrower units like the Iron Drakes. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, those seem pretty cool. They have a shield breaker. A lot of these dwarves, like the missile units, have shield breaking, which is good because they need help. Because like the gun units usually suck because they have serious line of sight issues, and it's really hard to fire into your own units. Like the bow, the arcing shot units are almost always better in terms of artillery and missile infantry. They're almost always superior. I hate gunners. Like, they have really good stats on paper, but they just cannot get clean line of sight. And that's what holds back things like the Iron Drakes too. We'll still try them out. We'll see if they helped them out with that a little bit, but anyways, those would be some pretty cool units to also try out. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. Now, one thing that did change about this as well is I can't confederate until I get Carrick 8 Peaks, which is way down here. So there will be no confederation out of this. It's going to be tough. I still want to get good relations with the dwarves so I can trade with them.
Onward. Dowie from another hold arrived.
So we're just going to be as friendly as we can be with...
Aye.
They said they made diplomacy a lot harder, too.
Aye.
It takes more time.
Let's hear what you have to say. We'll hear it before Oathgold.
Now, I do want to get good good relations with Carrick Norn specifically, so I can go hunt down Skarsnik for that quest. Or for the, whatever, to settle the grudge.
Allies. In these troubled times, dwarves are a fine sight to behold.
Did I just go ahead and grab that trade agreement? Maybe I do. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this while we can. They'll give us more.
As you say, sir.
So I want to go ahead and get that trade agreement rolling. Usually I kind of just walk them up, like do one level of diplomacy per time if it's green, and just try to get money out off of them every turn. Border Princes. Okay, I really want to be friendly with them. They'll be a great trade partner. Now, you can go through and fight your way through the Border Princes if you want. I personally think it's almost more valuable just to have them as trade partners, because if you'll notice, a lot of their stuff here is yellow. Belegar doesn't have many regions he can settle in, which kind of sucks. But yeah, these sort of just like temperate forest areas are yellow, which means the growth is going to be terrible. The buildings are terrible. It's just not very good land. There aren't a lot of great resources. There are some. But I'd rather just trade with them. They can act as a buffer zone too. If, you know, any other aggression tries to come my way, they might help me out. So we'll see.
Greetings, stranger.
No. No!
Well, they might eventually be friendly with us. Now, these guys do not like us very much. We'll see. I wouldn't mind trading with the elves either. I just want to be friends and trade with people that are the good guys, pretty much. Because you know, you're not going to make any money off a lot of the dwarf stuff. You'll make some, but I can't get rid of this building yet because I'm recruiting. But next turn I'll get rid of it. Okay, so we did that. We did our tech, right? We're getting included families, yes. Can't do anything with grudges. Can't do anything with forge. Built our mine. Okay. Next turn, we'll go for the dwarves. Or for the greenskins over there. Dwarves are really fun. I wish they had access to more cavalry type of units early. I know they don't have magic. I wish they would give them more kind of spell type of stuff with their runes. The runesmith certainly helped. I don't think the runesmith was in the base game. I think it came in an expansion. From what I remember. But those are a couple of things that I really like, or, you know, mobility, cavalry, and spells. They don't have large monsters either, and I like large monsters too. But they do have, like, really cool artillery and, like, weapons units. So I wish they would, like, accent that more. I wish, like, Iron Drakes were stronger. Like, they had, I don't know, a more arcing shotter they could use. If they could use that flamethrower in melee combat, that'd be great. Or if they had just more, like, trapper units or, like, lockdown units. I don't know. They're still cool. They're a cool faction. They just start off a little slow. Okay, so I'm going for faction-wide and army caps. This means you can only have so many of certain types of elite units. So, for example, here it says unit capacity +2 rangers, and the cap is 2. That means I can only have an additional 4 rangers. You get an extra 2 for picking Belegar. But that just means that I can't, like, stack my whole army full of, like, elite units, right? I can't just get an entire army of hammers, like 12 hammers, and, you know, like 6 Bugman's Rangers and a bunch of heroes and just go at it, you know? So it forces you to diversify and sort of think about where you want to put your elite units and which army and how you want to manage that. So, I like that system. It's also, I think it's in place for the enemy too, but I'm not entirely sure. It definitely makes the game a lot harder and forces you to diversify a bit more, which I think is a good thing. Okay, so we're just going to pop under here.
I will do as you ask.
Now, do I want to try to fight in the forest or not? I think that's grassland. That's all going to be grassland, right? Okay, it's just not going to give me forest. I think I want grassland anyways. That determines the type of map you're going to fight on. Of course, we're going to be fighting in the underground, or the underway if they try to fight me.
Lord of the England.
Okay. That's what I'm hoping. So he didn't recruit 3 last time, but this time he's going to recruit 3. He actually doesn't do magic damage, but man, he walloped. In the past, he's walloped my heroes before, so you have to be very, very careful against them. They have a pretty good garrison, though, because, you know, Steel Faith. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's going to have 3 more here. So, yeah, he's going to have 19, most likely. He might even have 20 units against 14. So they're definitely going to have the numbers advantage. Okay. So now we've got that built, or we're working on that. Go ahead and get rid of this. And then next turn we'll start getting the beer. We need the public order anyways. Being able to trade those kegs, nice money-wise too. Alright, so we got that going on.
Ready.
Carrick here.
And what can the Dowie do for you on this fine? Anad? Aye. Let's hear what you have to say. Won't happen.
I like how they simplified this to just say, like, very high. Instead of whatever they said before.
Who calls? By Sigma's will, come in peace.
Yeah, I'm cool with I'm cool with being friends with them. Especially if they're willing to sling me a little cash.
A weak order.
Give me a little bit, come on. You gotta nickel and dime them early just to squeeze out every penny you can get. No, man, come on. Okay, well, we'll wait. Maybe they just don't have the money this turn. Hook it up, bro. I'm a poor little dwarf.
So,
Deliver your message.
Yeah, really anybody that's not in my way to go south to go get Carrick 8 Peaks, I can pretty much just friend them.
a fool's action.
Especially people that are like a humanoid faction that I can trade with.
Yes?
Greetings, stranger.
Not in my name.
Alright. Really like to not fight the elves. Just have nothing to gain from that. Okay. So that's all good. Got those buildings going. Can't do anything there. Did our diplomacy, tech. Oh, we got another grudge here too. Moving up this grudge book. Carricate Peaks. Okay. So that enables Confederation. We get Ward recruit ranks. Leadership against Greenskins, public order. You get a lot of stuff, but you got to get over there, and it's going to take a while. Mute this real. Sorry about that. Like I said, I am getting over kind of a sickness here, but I do want to get some of these episodes done. I am going on, I am traveling with the family for the holidays in about a week or so, so I would really like to get a bunch of these episodes stockpiled so you have something to watch while I'm gone. So I need to get started. Okay. So we are starting to get into... That's why our diplomacy dropped a little bit with some of the dwarfs this turn, was because we lost that plus 20. Now it's down to plus 10. How much money? We're only getting 114. You know what? I should have done this last turn. I forgot about it. I'm just going to take the taxes off for right now. Because we're basically buying 6 public order, I think. Yeah, we're buying 6 public order for 100 gold per turn, which is a very good deal. We don't have any money building, so you might as well just take that off.
Yes.
Okay. They'll probably come fight us this turn. This is going to be a tough fight. Steel Faith rocks, by the way. Y'all should definitely... It's a free mod. You can support them on Patreon. But just give it a try. See what you think. I think it makes the game like 50 times better. I can't even play it if it's not Steel Faith anymore. Like, it was so easy when I played that Silostra campaign. I was just like, I gotta have my Steel Faith. That's why I had to wait like 3 weeks, because they don't give them early access to the DLC or any major patches, and so they have to try to patch it live. And he said, the main guy said it took him like 300 hours to change it all. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but you know, it did take him like 3 weeks to update it. So it's awesome. I mean, I think their base game is amazing. Okay, so let's see here. Now, he has magical attacks. He does not. Magical attacks are important because they can chew through the physical resist of the ghosts here, right, of your ethereal dwarves. So you gotta be wary of anything with magical attacks. I don't think most of their stuff has it outside of him. Now, if he casts Sneaky Stab, and that does... Okay, that doesn't give magical attacks. Now, some of their units are a little hurt because, like, the turn that you get a certain building that gives you garrison, then it's hurt for a little bit and it has to heal back up. The same is true when you confederate something. But yeah, we gotta fight it. Let's do it. Now, I could just auto-resolve it, but this is actually a pretty tough fight. I don't like abusing auto-resolve. I fight out tough fights. If you're new to the channel or haven't ever watched it before, I take on tough fights. I don't play like the most technically sound game of Warhammer that you can possibly play, because I want to make it interesting. I want to make it entertaining for people watching the channel. I want to take on tough challenges, you know? So I try not to abuse different kinds of exploits out there. I try not to, I try to make it just good, clean fun, you know? Now, I'm not sure which one of these is going to be One of them's going to be the little standalone goblin, and one of them's going to be like the faction, major faction people. Now that Runesmith is very vulnerable too. I think he has very low melee defense is 40. Yeah. Wait, how does this guy have so much more? What the? Oh, I think I forgot to equip those runes from this guy too. Damn it. Because that is something you have to equip. So I lost out on one of those runes, the defense rune. Why is this dude so much stronger? This guy has 74 melee defense. Jesus. He's just better overall, I guess. I never noticed that before, but... Okay, this guy has more defense. This guy has more offense. That's what the trade-off is. Okay. Interesting. I never noticed that before. Alright, now, he has two different guns he can switch to. He can switch to the Grudge Raker, and I think I've tried this in combat. I don't know if that allows him to still fight in combat or not, but... yeah, we'll stick with the Grudge Raker here. Now, these guys have perfect vigor, too, so they never get tired, which is great. Alright, so we'll make this our dedicated... Actually, let's make this our dedicated front line.
It is a reckoning!
Hammers we want to use really well. Those things carve through stuff. Those are very, very strong tier 4 units. They are very expensive, too, but they are definitely worth it. They have area of effect attacks. They hit multiple things at a time. It's something that a lot of people don't realize. Steel Faith didn't change that. That's in the base game, the area of attacks. It just never says it on the tooltip. So I think it's nice of them to put that in there, clarify for people. Okay. Alright. Well. So put these guys on the front line here. And we'll just fire into them, maybe.
War of vengeance.
Put Belegar in there, too, on the front line.
Runes of smiting upon them.
So we'll go ahead and switch him up to this one. He has a larger range. Okay, nice.
Dwarf warriors! Move now! Move! For the ancestor gods! Kick your targets well!
Actually, let's go ahead and just rotate over
Put
here.
those dwarven legs! Bang on!
Snipe this dude out, yeah.
Ready! Get on! Shoot the Wazags! Get your move now! Nothing could stop us!
I'm trying to get these flank shots. That's what's kind of tough about the I forgot these guys have like Foe Seeker too. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. I mean, they have perfect vigor, so Foe Seeker's not like as amazing. Like with many factions, Foe Seeker's great. Let's go ahead and just move in here a little bit.
Not them if they get close. Move!
We don't want to use all of our ammo on these because we have this horde coming up here too.
On the way.
Just a little bit of a shot in the back here can really help break this up.
Come then, Earth. Let me split you in twain. Nothing can stop us.
Oh, they're getting clever. They're actually stepping out on me here. Okay. Or are they running? Can't tell what they're doing. Looks like they're trying to run.
If they get close, muscle. Just bleed for the club. Very well. Satisfy the grudge. Take him down.
That's fine. We got that under control. Yeah, you got to watch them because one thing about this from like other games like StarCraft, your units don't automatically fight if they're standing close. You know. You have to actually tell them to go in and fight, even if they're like, that's the obvious thing they should be doing.
Come on. Hey! Dwarf warriors. Plow through. Move now. Strike out. Take them down. Glow. Cattle! Bring the throne to the trophy horde!
Where's their lord? Okay.
For mountain and home! We are relentless! Off we go! Belegar's blessing on us! Now, Groby, die! Drag them!
We're getting overloaded on that side over there.
Yes, yes! For the Cutter's Encore! Drag them!
Let me make sure I don't get focused out here, because he can crush that rune guy pretty quickly. What is this formation, boys? Like, we gotta talk. What are you doing?
Go! Kazu! Fire on the foe! Descendant of Lord! Dwarves! Ready access!
Okay, yeah, they got the goblin on him. Run, 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 run. So the goblin does that magic damage. Okay, there we go.
Dwarf warriors! Right! Ready to strike! Strike out! Move now!
Did a pretty good job of neutralizing their dwarf ward.
Vengeance begin!
Wow, we're able to actually run him down.
Will do! War of vengeance!
That vigor.
Obey me!
I guess that does increase speed by quite a lot.
War of vengeance!
He's so far away. I didn't think we'd actually be able to run him down. Looks like maybe we can.
That'll do!
A couple of shots, just because we're gonna have to fight these guys again. Nah, maybe we're not gonna be able to run him down. Maybe get a couple extra shots on him before he runs out. No. I was like, there's no way dwarves are running people down. Alright, so we're gonna have to fight them again, which is why I was trying to run them all down. Pretty good showing overall, I'd say. Except for, we did take a little bit of heat on our rune guy at the end because they got their goblin on him. Which basically deals, you know, like 70% more damage. Actually, it's like 140% more damage because it blocks 70%. Because they're bypassing the physical resist with their magic attacks. I think Sneaky Stabbing used to give magic attacks, and they nerfed it and took that off there. Dawnstone's pretty sweet. Gotta take the money. It's kind of weird how their goblin gets to run, I think, because he was in the town. Alright. Well, we'll say the rumors are false. We'll have the Empire fight each other. And it's just more realistic.
No fool that's safe in the world.
Damn, did they already get to replenish?
True king of 8 peaks.
I don't know if they did or not. So we'll go ahead and start the refectory. Yay! You got your book, Rory?
Lun's air. By my hammer it will be done.
Good job, Rory. All right. You gonna let that stay on your head, Rory? Little Santa baby? Nice.
Belegar iron hammer.
Alright, so we have a couple options here.
To battle?
Either take Carrick Zufbar right now, which is what I would like to do. Then that will stop them from hiring, that will stop them from replenishing this turn. They are not... that will allow me to replenish. Or... or we can try to run them down and kill them. He's going to run away, probably. So when he runs, he's going to get into reinforcement range here. I may not even be able to reach him. I think I can, though. And if I kill him, or if I beat the fight with him, I'm not going to be able to run him down to kill everything he has. He's probably going to run again over here. And I'm not going to get this town. I'm going to be more injured. I'm not going to get replenishment. It's just gonna set me back a turn with all my buildings and everything that's going on. So I think I just take the town this turn. And if he wants to come back at me, he's not gonna be able to recruit there or replenish, then he can. Now the problem is he's gonna run away down south to this other town, but I think he's gonna do that anyways because I can't run him down and kill all this stuff in battle. So I think that's a foregone conclusion.
Ready.
Yeah, good job, Rory. Baby, it's a baby. Just pointing to a picture of herself on my second monitor, the wallpaper. It's a baby, Rory. Want to say that for the stream? Say baby? You say it, Rory? I want your technology, Pappy.
True king of 8 feet.
Alright.
Let's go.
That's right, Rory. Huh, it's saying they're gonna beat me, huh? What? I don't know how they think they're gonna beat me, but anyways, we're gonna fight it. Rory, what are you doing? She wants the computer. She's always trying to go for the mouse and the keyboard, my headset. Rory, you have to be at least 2 before you can start streaming. Might have some future, maybe Warhammer 3 when that comes out. She'll do her own campaign. We'll see. Whoa, what? What was that? 360 action there.
Armed and ready.
I mean, some of my units are a little dinged up. I don't think I'm that unfavored in this fight, though. I just crushed them in a similar fight. I guess my baseline infantry is pretty weakened.
For the High King.
Wait, no, this guy should be his own thing.
The ancestors watch.
Alright. Hi. There's just no reason to ever really pick miners now. I am gonna, with that one special building, I am going to get like extra ranks with them. But like before, you could get miners as your early armor piercing option before you got the smith or whatever. But now that you can just get armor piercing anywhere, anytime, there's no reason to get them except for the blasting charges, which they nerfed a long time ago, where you don't have as many. Hi. You saying hi, Rory? You being friendly?
Nothing can stop us.
Let's go put this dude in there. Come on.
I speak my lord's will. Without delay.
What's up, Rory?
Reach far, reach fast. Axes out, lads. Range far, range fast. Come together, lads. Move. Satisfy the grudge. I'm guild approved. That's an order.
A little bit early there.
Aye. Shoot the wizards. Yes, laddie. Plow through. I'll get my tools.
Oh, forgot to move him up more.
Hammers. The runes glow. The runes are cast.
What's that?
Shield bearers, halt! Move now! Let the vengeance begin! Strike them! Alert! Strike out! Ready to strike! Our fire undimmed! Strike out! Shoot the wizards! Off we go! Belegar! Gears of Softbar! There's nothing I can't fix. Move! So many
Baby, that's right, Roy.
Range far, range fast.
Those guys all running.
Lock out. Move now. This is an order.
Where is it?
By the Lear's will.
So let's fire on these guys.
Ready! Dwarf warriors!
These guys might actually be able to run down some of them. Maybe. It's not gonna matter too much, but like having you know, more kills helps your veterancy. It helps you get to those higher ranks a little bit faster.
Move now!
Okay, only
Go!
don't want the hammers to take too much
Nothing
friendly
can
fire.
stop us!
Is that right, Roy? Good job.
Ready to serve.
Let's go, Rangers.
Don't want to leave.
I like it. It's almost like a kilt or something. Had their kilt armor. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for this fight. We're going a little faster, but... Is he gonna get him? Oh! We got a couple in there.
Dwarves, shivering.
Okay. As you can see, dwarves are mostly a missile faction for the most part, if you couldn't guess that before. Very good missile units. Just like good beef units on the front line. Like, they aren't going to get a ton of kills except for hammers most of the time, but they'll hold it. You know, they have really high leadership, high armor values, high melee defense, so it takes a long time to crack through all of them. You get, like, no loot off of fights, mostly. You have to take the, like, or sacking or raising or anything like that. You just don't get any money. Like, it's pretty much you have to do it through trade. I mean, look at this sack. 117 gold. I mean, I know this is, like, an underdeveloped Tier 2 town, but, like, that's crazy. Versus, you know, someone like Dark Elves or Chaos. Obviously Chaos, but, like, a lot of those types of factions with sacks, they just get a ton of money. It's like the extreme opposite with the dwarves. Okay. I thought they had a tier 2. Okay, well, I guess it's only a tier 1. What can we get at tier 1? Oh, you know, did I start this turn? Or did I start that last turn with the beer? That's really good. Might have to go for that. I just remembered I'm not going to be able to hire rangers, though. Oh, I do need the beer so I can hire dwarf warriors. Another option I could do here would be get the ranger outpost instead of this, and then try to get this up to tier 2. It just feels so bad. You only get 2 more growth for spending, you know, 100 of your growth to upgrade this. Can I afford? Can I even afford more rangers? That's the question. Or do I just have to stick with this army? I mean, I could afford maybe 1 or 2 more rangers, but oh, I think I forgot to level up after last time too. Unless I just got 2 ranks right now. So is more money my immediate concern, or being able to hire more rangers? Alright, let's level this up here. What we got here? 6 points. Now, another nice thing about plus 25 melee defense is a huge deal for 30 seconds. That's very big. It's in a huge radius, too. Is that with steel overhaul, and that'll be it for this episode too. I'm just going to do a couple more management things and just press end turn, and that'll be it. And we'll get to some more fighting next turn, or next episode. Every single faction, as they level up their lords, they get 3 skill points. So that means that when you hire a lord in the mid game, you don't have to sit there and try to power farm, you know, over and over and over again, just so you can get to whatever your key skills are. Same is true with the enemy lords. If they just, you know, if it's one of these smaller factions, and they just hire a new lord and they get, like, you know, rank 5 on it or something from their skills, they can immediately have all of their really good stuff. So I like that. It just kind of expedites that early game, and especially in the mid game, so that you don't have that grind as much anymore. Now you can get some multiplicative power off of that, right? If you're leveling up one character way faster than the enemies are, you can get some more. But it's basically for the first 5 levels, you get 3 points per skill. So I like it. I think it makes for a more smooth game experience. The enemy has it too. It's symmetrical. I think obstinacy is really good. Although these guys have perfect vigor. Belegar doesn't. Hammers definitely don't. And they're a very important unit. Neither do these guys. So like the Bugsman's Rangers or whatever have strong vigor. But the front line really need that vigor, because if your vigor goes down, then you lose armor and melee defense. Sadie, get off the computer. What are you doing? I want to do tactician though. Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I think we have to get this early. 3 points there. Do we want 8-8? It used to be 12-12 in the base game. We're all going to be using a lot of Dwarf Warriors. So giving them that extra 8 melee defense is a big deal. That's a really sweet cooldown. I like that. That's basically like 25 melee defense that's going to be up 25% of the time. So in a long fight, it really gives everyone like an extra 8 melee defense, 7 or 8 melee defense. No, not even. 6 melee defense. But that's pretty good for every single person. Gotta have that. Or do we want everybody to have obstinacy next? 6 melee defense for everybody, or obstinacy. I think obstinacy is better. Root Marcher is very good too, but I think we're going to need some combat stuff to keep beating these dwarfs, or these orcs. As you can see, we only have 2 rangers right now, but As you saw from last time, those 2 Rangers units killed probably 90% of the units that we killed in that fight, so even though there's not many of them right now, still very strong. Okay, I think we'll go with that. We can get minus 15% upkeep for Rangers too. Okay, so now the question is, do we want the Rangers or do we want... I think we want the Rangers. We're going to have to be able to fight soon. We'll get this soon enough. I think we can make it money-wise. We're going to get some more trading in here soon. We'll win some more battles.
Iron hammer.
This takes 3 turns to build too, doesn't it? Yeah. So, well, is that even going to be too slow? Because we're going to have to plug ahead and just go for this soon. So maybe that Ranger upgrade is just too slow because we can't wait 3 turns on that. You know. How is he still recruiting? Maybe it's going to get canceled here in a second. Yeah, we're going to have to chase him down. Okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, maybe we just do go for this right now. Then we get the Ranger building once we get further down there. Dang, really? Oh, that's for the conquest. Okay. How much money? We're not getting that much money, right? Income. That's not upgraded. Or updated, rather. Okay, yeah. Okay, now we're getting way more income. 700 something, so... Because we finished the Copper Mountain. Okay. Alright, so that should be all good.
Yes. And what can the Dawi do for you? It is time. Come, come, kin. Let us feast and drink. No reason for it.
No evildoer may receive the blessings of the lady. I am Morgiana, Fey Enchantress of Breton naturally.
The elves are probably not going to like that. But,
Yes?
whatever.
Approach us, friend, and make your offer. A weak order.
Skull Takers are obviously going to step up to us soon, but we got to deal with some other stuff first.
So,
Greetings, stranger.
what?
Deliver your message.
Fine. Who calls?
Greetings, stranger.
A fool's action.
Alright, so we've got all that. Do we have any more grudges? No, we're good on the grudges.
I stand
So you
defiant.
really, really don't ever want to lose fights with dwarves right now. You don't want them to sack your little towns or assassinate your lords or just do anything, so you're going to get a grudge on you. Now, that can be nice if you fulfill it, you do get some money, but if you're not able to catch it, if they just like sack your town and run away and you can't ever catch them, you're going to have some serious penalties going on with the grumbling, so that's
True king.
something the enemies can definitely exploit. Okay, we'll go ahead and end this turn, and that'll be it for this episode. So we'll just see what happens at the end of the turn here. And we'll probably have to chase down the Greenskins. Assuming they skitter back to their one remaining town. Is it going to let them change that to global recruit? Well, if it does, they're not going to get their stuff. Hopefully they sit right there and just fight me next turn. I don't think they're going to do that. Beastmen. Huh. Sadie, get off the computer. You're going to get all your hair in there.
Men of the Empire, what brings you here?
I know it's a fun place to sit, but it's warm. Ooh, defensive alliance, don't want to do that. Just because that can get me sucked into wars that I don't want to get involved in. You don't ever lose. Yeah, they're running. He's not at war with me right now. He's thinking about it, though. Gobspit. Now, I could maybe pop over the wall and fight him. Beastmen Rising. Beastmen Invasion in the mid to late game. Makes it a lot harder to manage your empire. Those beastmen can just kill, like, random stuff, too. I guess we'll just... well... I've had games, or, like, campaigns before where they just, like, showed up and steamrolled an enemy that I was, you know, kind of having a hard time with. But they can show up and cause a lot of problems for you, also. It does make them a more relevant faction as the game goes on, just this kind of pesky faction. I guess we'll do it. Make them more relevant. Now these guys are going to be tough. Boar are really difficult for dwarves to deal with. Yeah. So I can pop over here and attack them with Carrick Izor. Right? Am I able to attack? Oh, I'm not. Oh, because I'm not at war with them. Are they raiding me? No. Alright, we can kill that dude. Are they going to be able to really siege this? I don't think they are. They're not at war with me yet. They have a terrible siege. I've got Iron Breakers, Dwarf Warriors. Those Quarrelers will just murder them up on the walls. Thunderers. Dwarves are very good at defending in sieges.
Ready.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out next turn. I think my course of action is going to be to try to...
Grudge bearer.
Damn, did I not pick...
Lord of the Undead.
Maybe should have picked Root Marcher. I don't know. I feel like I really needed combat stuff, but... Okay, so we should be able to come over here and fight this guy. He'll probably run.
Incarnate.
And then maybe run over here and try to take this place out. Maybe another tough fight.
What?
Do we have, next turn we can hire more Dwarf Warriors. One more round of Dwarf Warriors if we want. They're going to be hiring too. Anyways, we'll figure it out next time. So, thank you very much. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more episodes, and I'll see you next time.